All right. Yo, hey, what's going on? What's going on? I am Dark Riddler. We is legitly here currently with the man, the legend himself, Nasi. Yo, what's going on, boss man? How you been?
What's up?
How's life been treating you?
I can't lie, life's been kind of good, mentally, I'm kind of missing the All Out podcast, but we'll rectify things, LG's back. I'm glad the crew like rekindling back with the crew and yeah, no, like even talking with yourself and chopping up with a legend like yourself and the voice of the voiceless is just glad. I know people in my real life will tell me we need a part two, we need a part two. I'm like, bro, go and tweet my brother for a part two, but like you was like, what, let's just do a part two and let's keep it cracking. It
Yeah,
liked the insight, so I got to show people around this time. So
I mean, me and LG did four, so I mean, there's that
I
fact.
know we're gonna have to do part three soon. Once the art stuff kicks in, like
Mm-hmm.
we do a part three for
That's
sure.
perfect. That's perfectly fine, man. But what have you been doing? That's the ultimate question. What have you been doing? Where you been at?
Shoot, shoot, man. I know you. I showed you the like workout Instagram. We've been like me and some homies I met on Discord. Um, they own a Discord server and they have like a gym rats. The term gym rats meaning guys that go in the gym and work out constantly. It's like they stay there like rats. So
Yeah,
that's the term what they use. And what happened was I was in there and beforehand I showed you guys like my progress, how much weight I lost during like lockdown and things like that. Um and when we did that, a lot of guys was like, yo, Nancy, you lost weight. I was like, oh yeah, thanks, bro. And we would share our workout routines, we would share how we get things done. And the owner of the server, his name's Gus. He's an animal the way he works out. Like he's like but like 19, 20, like and he's wearing like a weighted vest with like 30 pounds in it and he's doing like dips. It's crazy. And you had King, you had Big Dom. We call him Big Dom because the way he just goes in, he's just Big Dom. And we
yeah,
got Carl, who's just a savage. He's lost weight like myself. We used to be real like 300 pounders, and we just lost weight. And we're like, I was just I was just on my injury season. When you're on that injury season, when you work out, it's always like, oh man, like when I'm gonna get back, you start eating crap, you start not really in the right motivation to work out until you recover. And Gus was like to me, like, yo, like, did you quit? And I was like, no, I'm just had the flu. Had my shoulder injury because I was trying to get calisthenics, and the plan was to go around December. And he was just like, bro, you need to get back in there. And he was the fuel that was like, boom. As soon as January 1st kicked in, I just went and worked the hell out. Like I was just working out. I think it was January 1st or just the ending of January. I don't really remember.
yeah,
And I just started posting videos on Discord, and all I was just like, yo, let's start the Instagram. Let's start the Instagram. I'm ready to go because everyone would just tune in just to see me just give some motivational stuff.
yeah.
Like I just felt like I was like Uncle Joey, like Joey Diaz, from our last conversation. If you know about Uncle Joey, you know how I rock. I was just, he was just like, "You're a bad motherfucker. Let's go," and we just went in,
Mhm.
and from then at the time we were stagnant because we made the account, we didn't do nothing. King made it and he was like, no one posted it, and I was just like, let me just post. And I just
Yeah,
started posting all the content I was putting on Discord and then on IG, and then next thing you know, they had some of their friends follow, and then they had some people from the Discord follow, and I had some people I met from church, they were following, but then we had some random people follow us. We even had bots following us, and we had like some actual people to DM us, going like, "Oh, we want to work with you" and stuff like that. And then we had those guys who try to boost your account if you ask for money. So it's been an interesting time. We're nearly at
yeah.
50 followers. um in a short amount of time. I'm the main face, but I'm trying to get those guys to like record themselves and actually work out. So I just don't be the main face. And if more people come in from the Discord, we'll just keep grinding like that. So, but that's really where my mind's been, just like being more healthier and just like mentally and physically. I told you last time,
Yeah.
I suffered from. Well, go ahead.
So what's your actual workout regimen right now?
Oh, right now, so I'm trying to do calisthenics. So basically, I try to do like, the pull-ups. I can't do pull-ups just yet, but I can hold my weight and try and figure out how to do a pull-up because my arms it's like it has the motion to do it, but it's just maybe I need to lose a lot of weight or else I have to learn to actually hold it up like I can do push-ups. So I do push-ups, I do rows. That's like on the parallel bars where you hold the two sides of yourself
Mm-hmm.
and then you pull up and down and you see like gymnasts do it like on those bars. So we like that's what I'm trying to learn to do, just to maneuver my body and try and learn my body again since I lost a lot of weight, because I still got some of the fat, but the fat, the way it is it's loose skin and fat as well. So it's like it's loose skin. No, it's, let me say it like this. It's like muscle and loose skin and a little bit of that fat area. And I have to figure out how my body to shape and maneuver it so it can, sit in. So calisthenics the best way. Do that and like jogging, and I do kettlebells and I do all that, and then trying right now since I came back, because when I usually have a flu or like an injury, I eat bad. I eat like too much sugar and stuff like that, and then
Yeah.
that's not a good thing. So I go like on a detox. So right now I'm doing like a strict like intermediate fast. I did some smoothies and I had a little rice when I came in. Not too much fat foods. I'm trying to do that. But when I'm on like cheat days, I know people who do cheat days and they eat like two, three pizzas, right?
Yeah.
And some like and a pack, like if they if they was drinking alcohol, but they'll get like a pack of their favorite pop or soda, like, and I'll be like, nah, bro. And then I learned from a guy said, if you really want to do a cheat day, be smart about it. Why don't you do a cheat weekend? And I was like, how? What do you mean by that? He said, well, that big pizza, you could basically break down that in 3 days. So you're taking that same amount of calorie intake, but lessening the portion, so you don't feel like you feel like when you get hangover and stuff like that. And you're like, what have I done? And you're over in the sink or in the toilet in the bathroom, you're throwing up, because that's what most people do on their cheat days. They feel sick to the point where they want to throw up, and it's like that's not really worth it. So what I do is just monitor what I eat, and then when I monitor what I eat, then I can go on the Monday and just work out and burn all that off.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it
You
for me.
you need to check out it's actually a YouTube channel. I've been looking at about different workouts and stuff like that. It's because it's like WWE superstars and stuff, but it's called Celtic Workout. There's a lot of them different. Like they all do different workouts and stuff like that. But that I think that one Bobby Lashley did, like what he had to say and
Oh,
everything else while he was doing it. It's yeah,
yeah, I'm
it's very
telling you.
damn impressive, bro. And what he do, like it's crazy what his workout is. But he make it look like make it look so easy. It's just like wow. A lot of them do like
Yes.
a lot of different workouts.
Yeah.
But Sheamus goes around visiting like the different stars and try to do their workouts that they doing. It's crazy. You should check it out though. It's called Celtic Workout. Something else. It's a long name for it. Um, but it is moving on. Um, Twitter. Why you leave?
Oh, snap! Riddler went there straight away. You like, nah, why you leave? You, nah, man. I'll give it to you straight, man, Riddler. When we come on this show, it's just like unfiltered. I'll give you the truth. I'll give you the truth all the time, man. That's why I mess with you so much, because you're like, when it comes to the scene, you're like the OG, the big brother in there. I left Twitter because of all the bull crap with Elon Musk. It's not the fact like Elon did no, he was doing great in my opinion.
Hmm.
Before the, you know, oh, I'm gonna start making I'm wearing like a dog tag now, right? But it's like the diamond tester with the verified. That's what you have to do. You got to pay basically to get verified and all these things like with tweets and stuff like that. And as someone who like messes with people in the art scene and things like that, I was just like, yo, it's a kind of a hard time because those guys are even struggling to get the art noticed now. But I was feeling like for me it was just too jarring, like uh, I don't call it black streamer Twitch. I call them nigger Twitch. Like how I feel about them. They're not black people. They're niggers. Like with a hard ER. But that my peripheral. I just can't say it because that's how we grew up. But
Yeah.
them guys are niggers, and I just can't stand them. Like being in the scene for like a long time, and we didn't allow politics to garner ourselves, and a lots of friends for me being vocal, political, and all that. It just sounds like I'm just like vomiting and getting mad at things, but I get mad at that because like you guys did the same thing to me on Twitch and telling me I'm trouble, I'm a bully and this, and you're doing the same thing on Twitter, and then you telling me this is okay.
Hmm.
Go fuck yourself, man. I'm done, man. I'm really done. Like I don't like get mad at things, but that pisses me off, man. Like when I see them do it to you, Desperry, LG, um, and the list goes on of the homies that we are like it shows me that these people are like again like from the last conversation insecure, and the reason why I left was like I'm done. I know you followed me before I left, but I was just like when you made your new account I was just like no. If I do come back, I'm just coming back with a like maybe a art or the fitness stuff like with the homies, and I'm like gonna
Yeah.
get someone else to monetize that rather than me, so I don't say anything to that piss them off. But I just left. It was that's pretty much it because of the crap.
So, I know you know about Trump being indicted, and you never really, really gave your like opinion on it or anything of the sort. And I feel like between that and just the whole TikTok thing, which I have my own views about that,
Mm.
but what do you feel like is going forward rather? Let's change that. What do you feel like is gonna happen as far as the way the society is currently going?
I think it's like old school rap lyrics. When they said ass backwards, like it's pretty much that. Like if you see the like the CEO of TikTok and how he had to come to Congress, and you see how calculated he was. The way he speaks, the way he's like I call you the methodical thinker. That's the way you answer things. You just take a pause and then you be like, okay. So like what? There's people you want to do time with, right? And there's people that
Hmm.
if you know you're gonna do a crime with, and that they're not gonna talk. That's you.
Yeah.
That's you. You know how to speak so well and so correct to the point where certain people just don't like it. I remember, I think it's what's her name, Kiki Bay, whatever her name is, right? You must have called her out and she just instantly blocked you. And I'm like, I don't think you said anything wrong. I think you said the right thing. And it's just ass backwards with these people. And it's like, bro, like look what like TikTok literally, and it says in it monitors your whole data. And people say, well, Facebook does that and things. They only do that to a certain degree. If you're smart, like TikTok, I mean Facebook, right, can voice record your messages and stuff. There's a setting where you can turn that off. People don't know that unless you know,
Yeah.
right? Google has the same sort of thing. Most companies do. It's not like people say, oh well, it's conspiracy theory. No, these are actual things. If you in tech or else you know about tech, you know. I just feel like the world and society, they will make a complete excuse for one thing and not the other. I think full is a reason why people don't want to go outside and when they get in a fight to confront people, because they would say, "Oh, this guy's not about it." But the guy who's actually about it, like myself, you tell me to come down the street and you're gonna meet me and fight me. I'm ready to go. People say keyboard warriors, but these guys are not keyboard warriors. There's something else, because I'm not a guy who's like eating Cheetos and typing on the keyboard and telling girls to show me their titties and all that. I'm not doing all that. I'm not. In a past life, not the Cheetos part. I did tell women like when they were on Periscope to show me their titties or strip. I was a bad young man. I was 18. I was 18. I had a lot of testosterone. A whole lot of weed, man. Allow me. Like now it's more calm down. I'm 26. You gotta give me some. You gotta cut me. You gotta be some slack. I'm not Riddler. I'm not Riddler out here doing things, doing the things on the poor ups. But we allow it. We allow it. But
But
nah. But like for real, I want social media to be effective and good to the point where you got things like this, like you coming out with the podcasting, Disparity doing this, gaming. I know you're got your niche and he's got his niche. Aki, I know when he comes back with his beats, he's got his niche. So does LG, but LG wears many hats as well. And I think that's a good thing about social media. You can get yourself out there. Like people never thought this could be a job. Like this could actually be a job that was beneficial for people. Now it's an issue that most people don't realize that oh well, I don't have to get a 9 to 5. I can actually stream and work and it makes me a profit. Like I've heard the best streamers. So I was working a crap 9 to 5 at Target, and I never was gonna think I was gonna blow, and it brought me opportunities. Like before I never had a passport. Now I have a team that's making me work to get a passport. But like, like you hear stuff like that, it gratifies, your encouragement and your boost. But then when you see what's happening nowadays, you're like, is it worth being a streamer? And that's the 50-50 you want to take. Is it worth it or not? That's my opinion on
it's a good, especially now since you have, of you have Twitch, YouTube, Rumble, not Kick, and it's got his, apparently they got their issues, but I still say Twitch got its own problems too. So does
it.
YouTube,
Yeah.
so does Rumble. So like I don't stream on Twitch. I mean Twitch. I don't stream on
Mm.
Kick or anything like I'm solely YouTube now.
Yeah.
Have I thought about streaming the Kick? Yeah. Have I been suggested to stream the Kick? Yeah.
Mm.
I just choose not to. I like even if I was to stream to another platform other than YouTube, it probably would be Kick. I really
Yeah.
just want nothing to do with Twitch past what I'm already doing on there now, and that's pretty much just supporting certain people. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I
I'm
really,
like, yeah, no, like the thing to add to that, like I remember when I was in the All Out podcast and I was talking about a man named Major Linux, right? We all
yeah.
know about the the cookout, or words of waffle. The match, the secret word is cold. I hope I still have that. I hope I still have that. It's like right. No, the word of the day is cold, right?
Mhm.
The way how nigga streamer Twitch. Now I'm not there's Black Twitch, that's like Kai Cenat and all those guys that think like us, but those black people would consider them coons, and us guys would think they're gold, they're good as gold.
Yeah.
Nigga Twitch, they the cookout and all those guys back. Major saw the same problems, the hate raids and things like that, and he did what Kick did because Kick is basically Twitch, right? Just they mirrored the website and everything. It's just the same. He did that years ago, and people were complaining that they didn't want to be on Twitch no more. And then he made it, nobody used it, and I had to unfollow Major because I'm just like, I love the brother, but I'm just like, I have certain people there that I don't no longer get on with, and I don't want them to, bring me down. I'm like the way mentally I am.
Yeah.
I'm on a better high right now in my mentality. I don't need that. Um, he was a good guy, but it showed me a lot that as a and he's a black man in the tech industry, and I'm not doing all this like, oh, he's being blackballed and things like that. He's legitimately being like held down, and this is what I mean. You talk about black this or black down, but you held down a brother that literally could have. He saw what was happening,
Yep.
and literally, Hick is literally what he made. They just did the same thing. He's just like, hey, they didn't want to support it. Look where it's at. But I had something that's
But and see
yeah,
that be that and see that there that's my thing. It's like we sit there and say if you gonna talk about it, be about it. And then the people that are about it and aren't just quote unquote talking, you find some insane reason to not get behind that. But you
yeah,
spew out these words and everything else. And and it really just amazes me. That's why a lot of times I just read unless it's just over the top
yeah,
because it's just like I don't understand it. Especially now in 2023, it just seems like the word of the year is going to end up being like double standards and
yeah,
well, actually, hypocrite and double standard because
yeah,
I just don't understand how people could be like that. Like, it takes a lot of energy,
mm,
bro. Because you can spew out anything on social media.
yeah,
Like, I could sit there right now and just go on social media, tweet something just randomly transphobic, and everybody will jump on it thinking I'm transphobic.
mm,
Don't we wouldn't even think I'm probably trolling, or probably saying it just to get a reaction, and like that, just automatically cut through. I'm transphobic, like, and that's to me, and that's where a lot of these people are at now. Like they're so quick to react, react. I'll say react, have an opinion on negative stuff. But where is all your tweets, all your comments, and everything else towards people that's actually doing different things, that's actually doing stuff and everything else? Where's your tweets at for that? Where's your replies at to people doing that kind of stuff? Non-existent. And that's where the problem is at. But, and I will say this again for the millionth time, because it's fact. Let something political, left, right wing, or something about Trump come up, everybody got something to say.
yeah.
It's a lot of it's too much bandwagon hopping to me, personally.
No, I don't disagree. I'm like, if we look at the past, like, remember, like, on lockdown, Twitter, like, for me, I didn't know about Black Twitter. And I've heard about it. I
Yeah.
knew about Black Facebook, and I was like, when I heard about Black Facebook, I'm like, this is what Black people do on Facebook. We don't have anything better to do. It just reminds me of what Asians like. You know how like, I've said a numerous amount of times. I feel like logic at this point. I need to stop it,
Yeah.
but this is a thing, like, like in the UK, they ask you what background you come from and whatnot, right?
Hmm.
In the Asian community, right? I don't know, in specifically in like the Middle Eastern, Southeast Asian, like Indians, Pakistanis, and all that, all they do is talk about other families, not in a positive light, in a negative light. And I'll be like, you guys just remind me of them. And I wouldn't even want to be surrounded by people who talk bad about me. Like that's just not me. I've never been like if I talk bad about you, I'll talk bad about you to your face. And if you don't like what I have to say, cool. I'll wash my hands, I'll walk away.
Yeah,
It's just like when you see what they do on Facebook, I'm like, this ain't pro black. This ain't the thing that I used to hear about my grandma telling me about, the Black Panthers and telling me about like Huey Newton and, you know, Frederick Douglass and all these guys, of black history, like getting black people to work together. And I was just like, it's like a facade, bro. I'm like, and this is me living in Britain, hearing about the inside out.
yeah.
And then the same thing happens here, and you're like, where far how backwards have we gotten to the point where like our forefathers before us fought for unity and we're far from that now. It takes someone to get stabbed or killed for us to band together, and it's never a thing, a positive thing. Like, a black man wrote a story not about drugs or crime, wrote a story about like I watched the other day with my mom, a black brother becoming a sommelier, right? If people don't know, that's like a wine taster. That's different, right? And he didn't know drugs or things were involved. It's just that this man came from a good family. They owned a barbecue house. They did very well. And he found out his mom got cancer when he was being a sommelier. He found out he was dating a girl that was a nurse, and the story becomes he didn't pass his test. However, you saw at the end of the movie he went back at it again, so to try and become a sommelier. And I was like, that's something that needs to change. I like the hood stuff, but at the time I'm just like, I don't want this no. I think it's much more better. Just like I want to be in a different light. When I do, get with a girl, and if I get married, like I want to like for my kids to see something like that, not like the classic hood stuff. You know?
It, and you not wrong feeling it. You know,
Mm.
my see, get the elephant out. Okay, my what next challenge is this been happening? Why so concerned with this whole image is everything?
Mm.
I know genuine, kind, hearted people who are loud, voice their opinions, mind their business, and just do their thing. But
Yeah.
we give the attention and we give the time to stuff like TikTok getting banned. I don't understand it. I don't get it. It makes zero sense. Everybody wants to sit there and
Yeah.
talk about well privacy, blah blah blah. First of all, you on the internet. There is no privacy. If somebody want
True.
to find you, you're gonna be found. It's just that simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm
I
so
can't disagree with that.
if
I
you don't
can't. I say, yeah.
i- if you want that much privacy, get off the internet.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't think you're wrong. I think we grew up in the era like if someone told you something like that was like crazy, right? You took that to your grave, right?
yeah,
That's how I was taught. I know, people are like people think I'm Cuban, but I'm not, Lord. Actually,
yeah.
Francis said he's Puerto Rican, but when people hear me speak, sometimes they're like, "No, it sounds like you're raised in New York." I'm like, because that's the OGs. That's how they raised me. And like when you said the internet, I had an OG tell me, it's like these guys are soft. they're always going on the internet and they're always, talking about how they want to be private. I'm like, you can't be private. How
Yeah.
are you telling people your business on the internet and then you'd be surprised well they throw it in your face? Why did you tell them in the first place? They not to be trustworthy. When they said they're your friends, they were never your friends to begin with. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wow. I didn't, and then I had to
Yeah.
look back at myself and like, I've done that too many times. I think it's the what's it called? You know what? We're in different countries. Some of us are in the same country or in different, states in the country, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it comes, what's it called? That flight kind of experience. You know when you go on an
Fight of
airplane, right? Yeah, and you speak to somebody and you tell them like your whole life story, and you're like, because you're not gonna see them again. But imagine if someone like if they just, oh yeah, I met like a famous rapper and he told me how he had sex with one of his cousins. They're like, why would you tell somebody that? First of all, I'm like, why would you tell me something like that? I'll be like, like,
some
what's
some people gotta tell somebody that they know, it won't matter, so that way they can just get it out of their system. That's all it really is.
right?
They probably feel guilty about it or something. So it's just like I know I need to tell somebody, but I gotta make sure I tell
Mm,
somebody who don't know me.
mm,
So that's why it's just like, okay, I see random person at the airport. Well, let me tell them this. That way I can just get it off my chest.
right?
And I don't have to worry about how they feel about it or what they have to say about it because they really actually just don't know me. But if I say to
Yeah,
get off my chest, I'm all right. That's all that really is. Like, it ain't like
yeah.
it's not really like how do what do those kids say? No, it ain't that deep. Yeah, it ain't. It's not that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like,
It's
they say that deep. It's not that deep.
mm-mm.
I don't know. I don't know. Like for me, maybe because I got like you know how I've said I haven't sugarcoated. I'm like a Christian, but I like the way I go to church. Like
Yeah,
it's just like it's be interesting like the levels of like maturity that's there. Like have you heard of what like what's it called Unilad or Lad Bible?
actually have not.
Yeah, I met the one of the co-founders. He goes to my church, and I was like, he was telling me some real deep stuff, and I was just like, it was interesting how he told me that his experiences and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
and he told me like this is common thing with people like if you give someone like your phone, right? And you just tell them swap phones for like a day and you unlocked it and it's unlocked and thing, you wouldn't be able to last 5 minutes because you'd be so like anxious. You'd be like you have low key like a autism because like you just don't feel trustworthy for someone to have your phone. And I
Yeah,
feel like that's a lot of the time on the internet is like that. You can't stay 5 minutes away from the internet or 5 minutes away, but then that's our life now, right? We need the internet. You need to actually like
communication.
today I had to, yeah, I need to navigate because I didn't know where I was. Like I don't have like a map to tell me where to go or somebody to tell me the direction because that's not really in our peripheral anymore, right? We're doing everything on the internet. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of the times it's that syndrome of like he was telling me about. I was like, yo, it's either, hey, you fly or it's like you fight or flight. Right now he's like, and that guy's got money, and he told me he's very much a basic man. He said the lifestyle he used to live was crazy. He told me he wears like cheap trainers, cheap jeans. He
Yeah,
told him his mom brought him like $50 like tea, and that's his life, and he drives a very expensive Mercedes car. But what he told me in the value that why he's blessed is just because he doesn't really give um the motivation of others. He usually just keeps himself grounded and allows his faith to guide him where he needs to be. And I
yeah.
respect that more than anything because at least he was real with it. Some people might disagree with what I'm saying, but I felt that was more sense.
Well, and that, and first of all, I totally 100% get where you're coming from, and it's just like to me, it's just like okay, like for you, okay, like I'll use you as an example. Since you want to get your, uh, well, I'll call it. Let's just call it for the sake of this workout regimen
Yeah,
show.
yeah,
You want to get that off the ground. It says your Instagram. Now, mind you, you're trying that knowing how Instagram is and everything else, yet you're
yeah, yeah.
still making that effort. So, this is why I can't take a lot of like the black community in content creating, et cetera, seriously. And LG touched a bit on this a couple of days ago with his comment
Mm,
on Twitter. It's just because they won't do what they said they want to do.
mm,
Like we should be someone like you should be getting supported because you're
mm,
you're going for uh goddamn health and wellness. You know, health and wellness,
yeah.
nutrition, stuff like that. Especially if you have a whole game plan down, you know what you want to put out there and everything else. Why aren't you getting a boost or some praise from somebody or even some advice or suggestion from some of these
Mm,
other ones who've done it, who are there and everything else on how
yeah.
to, at least, put that kind of content you want out. Because I'll tell you that I don't know. Because I know nothing
Mm,
about that. That's not my area. I don't know. You know. So
mm,
even I can't help you with that. But you should be able to find somebody who knows what they're doing, who's been there and everything else, who could probably guide you or point you in the right direction to where you can be like, not exactly copy, but hey, I can take this, I can take that, and I could probably try to implement it into my own stuff. That way I can put it out and probably improve from there. But you can barely, barely find anybody to do that. Like you
mm,
should be able to act. And when I say this, I don't mean okay. I can go on YouTube and look up a tutorial. Hell, anybody can do that. I can go on Google and look up a word right now if I want to do it.
mm,
Why can't I? And I say I as like a general. Why can't we rather than if that's the case? Why can't
yeah.
we go to somebody and just ask them like, hey, how are you doing this? How is this working out? How is doing this way working out with you? Why are you doing it that way? You can't do that now because one, these people act like they're scared to give out like information, like it's just, but
Mm,
that helps somebody else. But yet, you'll sit on here on social media and you'll sit here and say, "I'm willing to help out anybody. I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to do this for my fellow other content creators and everything else. I'm willing to do all of that."
mm, mm,
And that's the part. That's the part that really gets me. Is because you know who helps each other. Other people at the bottom at the beginning, like everybody, just like them.
mm,
From what I've seen,
yeah.
you rarely, rarely. I can count on my hand the number of partner streamers who actually go out of their way to help somebody.
Oh, dang.
That's not to say I know all partner streamers and all of that. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
my
No,
experience, the number of people who are partner streamers or per se big time that are willing to help out another smaller content creator, I can count on my hand.
bruh, bruh. I'm like, I think you're dead on the money. I think it's the crab in the buckets mentality. you know, that, oh, I'm gonna, I see you going somewhere, so I don't want you to grow. And I've felt me and Disparity talked about that, and I'm waiting on him. We're gonna talk about that in the art thing, because we're gonna do an art podcast to see where the art scene and stuff. And I'll touch on the art thing a little bit if you want to talk about
Y'all
that.
y'all need to get with 13 with that too.
Yeah, I told him about 13. Bro, I think 13's got great artwork. I think when
Yeah,
I saw that podcast, the way how he
the
edited
boy
it,
good. I
uh,
don't know why he won't just. I
do it, bro.
I'm done.
He's got, like,
I
for
can't.
me,
I'm
he's
saying
he's
everything.
got he's
I
got it.
can't for that man. Like I really
Now,
want 13 the fucking
clip
just
this,
there.
clip this,
He
please.
needs
Let
to
me
just
say this.
fucking do his shit, bro, and just get that shit out there. Say fuck it, I'm not taking this shit no more. 13
More,
just needs to
just
fuck
do it.
get a little fire in his ass and just say fuck it. I want to do this. I'm going to do this. Anybody got a
This,
problem with it? Go to hell. That's all
yeah,
13 got to do. I guarantee you, if 13 did that, 13 would be on
would be up
fucking
there.
levels with a Taki
Fire
fucking 210 LG. No questions asked.
questions
He
asked.
has
There's,
to
it'll
want
be
to do it. Can't nobody else talk to that man. 13 has to get his fire and
to
his
get
ass
this
and just fucking do this shit.
ass. Like,
It's just that simple.
I've been saying for real. Like, 13. I'm looking in the camera right now. Stop it. Stop this and stop doing this to yourself. Cause the art, the what I saw, what Riddler showed the clip of, you have it. You're on fire. Me, I know how it is. For me, I know, like, right now, and everybody knows that I'm trying to help my mom, but I want to do my own stuff, and I'm trying to work
Yeah.
on, I have the game plan. Once the game plan set, I know what I'm doing. You already have the game plan set. It's just for you to do it. you know, that's the thing with 13. Like, I'll be seeing 13. I'm like, bro, why ain't you posting this on IG or like on Twitter or on something? Like, you got it. Like me, if I knew what I was doing, like, I knew last time I was talking all crap, and I was like, I should have kept my mouth shut, and I would have been like, I knew I was doing something right. I had one of the Sega devs who did Space Channel 5,
Yeah.
you know, liked my work, and when I deleted my Twitter, and I was like, dang, I should have screenshot that to show to make proof. But the thing is, if I'm getting guys like that, what could 13 do?
That's the
You know,
part. It's always the group
I've been told my
that you
artwork
don't
keeps
record.
growing when so bro, you know.
Mhm.
And although 13's probably like he's into I'm not really anime style no more. I'm more like retro style. Like my shiz is like comic book style, like Western comic books. 13's more anime style. So if he gets
Yeah.
anime style, how much eyes from Japan are gonna be looking? How much, like, people, because Korea got the manhwa scene. How much eyes are gonna look at 13, knowing that his style how he's is? I've been saying my style. I'm like, I had people from Japan, holler at man. Like, I had, people, but I haven't. 13, he does music, he does this. Like, I think he could have done the beats with, like, his overlaps, and he'd be on fire. I keep saying it, but it's the crabs on the buckets mentality.
That's what I don't. I'm
But
not the art guy. I buy art and shit like that. But so I read a lot of stuff from different artists
mm,
on how hard it is now because of
mm,
Elon Musk, Blue, and all of that.
mm,
In AI and stuff like that. Like, and I even made a tweet about AI art, and I even sat there and said a lot of the AI art when it comes to the women being done, a lot of the faces look the same. I made a straight up tweet and I said it, and I stand by that. It does. A lot of it does look the same,
mm,
and I stand by that statement. It really does because I look at shit like that. Like,
yeah,
and I don't, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like now is the time. If y'all gonna try to pull off art, that's the time for y'all to just to try to get your shit out there. It ain't
yeah,
gonna happen overnight. Like, people need to get
yeah.
that out of their head that shit gonna happen overnight. It's not gonna happen
It's
overnight,
not.
y'all. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not.
No.
Like, you gotta just keep trying to put out content. Like, I try to oh shit. I try to put out content every day. Every single day. I take one day off. maybe, depending on what's going on.
Mm,
Like I consider
mm,
shorts my day off, but that's still,
mm.
but that's like my day off. I'm not really recording stuff. I'm going through like weekly, 2 week stuff and taking clips off of it and uploading. But that's
Mm, mm.
but I just feel like now is the time for people who want to really who may think they don't have a chance to go ahead and try to get in there and bring their own
Yeah.
style, fuckery, everything else to the table and just throw it out there.
I think it's also probably because the thing is I don't know if 13 has gone through this as well as like for me, um I've been dragged down because people would like I don't like him because the way how he acts or I don't like him because the people he runs with, For me, like I had someone tell me I could post art in their Discord and literally message me because maybe the tweets I've said or they heard something I've said. They told me, "No, I love your art, but you don't need to delete them. But could you not post so much? But you told me I could post so as much as I can before. So what's the issue now? I never said that to them, but I'm like, and then I just left, and then they were like, "Why did you leave my server?" And I'm like,
That's
I just blanked them on the airtime because I'm like, I don't
happening.
like you can tell how fake you are, So a lot of people have been doing that from nigger Twitch, and I've been like, why do you suddenly care about me?
Yeah,
Fuck off, like don't do all that crap.
yeah,
Like,
it
no.
happened to LG. That and I
Mm,
still don't agree with that, and that's fucked up, and that's stupid. That that
yeah,
that's when you can call people out for being. That's all it is.
yeah, yeah,
Especially when you can't even justify the reason. Okay, boo hoo. Somebody gave an opinion you don't like.
yeah.
To me, I read a lot of opinions that's freaking over the top. That's freaking insane. I don't get it. These people all crazy.
Mm.
In my opinion, a lot of
Ah,
it is crazy, bro. Like it makes no sense. It's all about if you don't, and this is why I say to myself in isolation because I don't this clique mentality, group mentality, and all that stuff
mm,
ridiculous because half of the stuff these people say, I guarantee you, and what they say about other people, I guarantee you, if you was to take, say somebody says something about you, you screenshot that bitch, I guarantee you, if you caught them out on the street and showed them that in their face and said, "Do you still stand by this?" I guarantee you they would back down from it.
yeah.
I guarantee you.
I think it's like a persona.
Yeah, yeah. And see, here's the thing. It,
Yeah.
it's easy to say whatever you want to say on the internet, Discord, and everything else because you think because you behind a screen that just I can say whatever I want, or I have an anime
Mm,
key.
mm,
Okay, bro. You keep thinking that. That's it. Sometimes
yeah.
you gotta let people think the weird, the nonsense. Sometimes you gotta just let them think that and just
Mm,
okay, bro. You keep thinking that you can just sit there and get away with that because if somebody really wanted to, it'd be a different story. Do you be feeling?
yeah. Bro, Riddler. I'm like, it's I don't know. I don't know. I think it's with the art scene. I can say it's the same, but it's kind of a tricky situation because you got guys who think like us and they're just keeping their mouth shut.
I mean,
But I know
I really
what's his name?
not if it is, it's something like that person is known for being a pedophile or some shit like that. That like
I know, right?
type of just I read. That's why I said I read a lot with a lot of they don't talk about each other.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like if anything, y'all doing art shares, y'all trying to hype each other up. You know, you get like two or three people who like your shit. Who comment how they like it and all that. y'all might get once in a while
Mm.
that one or two, idiot who just gotta be like dick picking on the shit and everything else. But
Mm,
I don't hear
But
it.
bro, I've met a lot of like the I met because while I do right, my little brother says one of the biggest stream because he's cool with like one of I wouldn't say they're tight, but he's cool with like one of the biggest streamers, Greek God X, right? He because me and my brother share the same account, but he's so tight with him. He's in his private Discord, but he would speak to like because he's been following him since like before his weight transformation and anything, and he thinks my brother's like a like OG, but like with him, he told me how he used to go through just chatting and you see the just chatting stream, and that's how he rose through, the ranks beforehand because he started when Twitch was just TV, just the TV, you know, because he saw the potential in Twitch and people. I went on like I do the same thing with the art because I believe these people can grow. I'll follow these people and I just want them to grow. Like if I saw a 13, I'll try and 10 every stream I can. Like same with LG. LG knew me for doing art. I used to go in certain streamers and they did art and they'll just chill and do art. Because at the time my mom wanted me to learn digital art and I was like I didn't draw for like a year. Like if you see my stuff beforehand, I was doing advanced stuff how I'm doing before now. Like my style went so simplistic. Like I have to show you something, Riddler. Like you might be like, yo, or why are you playing with yourself? But you know, it was like this guy. His name was Mark, and he worked for Nickelodeon and he worked on Clarence. I'm like, bro, I love those shows like Clarence and stuff like that. And the way he taught me about art and how he did things, it was interesting. But he works in animation, and he was small. He wasn't like a big streamer by any chance. I just found him just scrolling through,
Yeah.
and I've met like comic book artists. I've met everything, and they've told me that this game is not a, like you said. This is a doggy dog world. Like, and I spoke to a comic book artist. I think it was on last week Thursday. He made the action bible and he told me like, there are comic book artists that don't agree with all these pandering that they're doing to characters, and the fact that they're doing this and they've lost jobs is sad because they're not like, not no shade towards the LGBTQ community, but if we have to change in characters just to make it fit a demographic and it's not naturally handed out, it's kind of weird, to me, especially a black character. If you don't like, again, like last conversation, nobody told me there was a black Superman. I thought they pandered to that. If there was a black Superman, I wouldn't have said anything. I know I'm intermediate level in comics. I know my comic book history. I'm not like a guy who watches like Marvel movies to like find out. I actually watch like the little intricacies of how they made it, like from to a Steve Ditko to a Jack Kirby to a John Ramirez Senior to all these guys. I learned how this industry and I love this industry to the point where I even see someone like what's his name? Eric July trying to take it back. And they call him all these names because he just stands for something. But to me, the art community's gone so left. If you have an opinion and you keep your mouth shut and you don't say anything, they attack you. Like, look what happened to Disparity, and this was content creation. He kept his mouth shut the whole time with that whole a zombie that will never be named because we agreed we won't talk about it, won't give a light. LG agreed with me on that, and that whole situation was crazy. And now everybody's looking at Disparity like we owe you a bro. You owe this brother an apology and then some. You better be putting money in his PayPal account for how much the defamation you caused him. Dang. Did he tell you leave Twitch? Shit. Did Riddler tell you? Shit. If I was your parents, I would have gave you a nice whooping and then some.
Let,
Shit.
let me ask you this as an artist. That Black April O'Neil, what's your opinion on it?
Oh, what?
That
What?
Black
Tell
April,
tell me.
the Black April O'Neil.
Oh, from the TMNT.
Yeah, the newest
I
one.
don't
You
I
didn't
don't
see
fuck
it?
with it. I saw it. I haven't really seen it like that because I only like 2003 to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Anyone tells me that's the worst Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I'll fight you over that for real. I'll slap somebody in the face for that one. 2003 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was so raw and dirty. That's the Ninja Turtles that I love.
Mhm.
After that, when they did everything on Nickelodeon, I was like, you know, I'm not watching. Like to make, I could understand where people go when you make characters black, right?
Yeah.
It's just the it's just the writer's depiction. But the way they're doing it now, they're pandering to make people feel, oh, but just make new characters that give black people substance. If you're gonna make, you're a father, Riddler. If your daughter wants to look up to a black woman, you're gonna show a black woman that's like, yeah, something that she can relate to, something that's thing, not something that Ariel's.
I would actually show her old girl from LSU. Somebody like that.
Oh, all right, fair enough, right? But like, like, I saw like, I'm like, I know Ariel as white, and it's not like kind of a racial thing. I just know her as white. I never seen her as black. But
Bruh,
people want to cast her as,
let's be honest. That shit is terrible. That shit was
uh,
ugly. You know it was. You know it was. Anybody who could put common sense in their head and has basic common sense, that shit was ugly. It had nothing to do with them being black, bro. Y'all did a terrible
no,
job with it, first
terrible.
of all.
Like we even said it, like me and my little brother, like he's pretty much on our like kind of our mind thoughts about you know most social topics, and even he said he showed me a tweet, and someone said, "I dare you, Disney, to do Tarzan. I dare you." You know how that's gonna go. And I dare, like someone literally did it. He's like, I dare. They didn't edit a black man on there. He just like, dare you, I dare you, because you know how south that would go.
Yeah,
The thing is, because the thing is, it's so crazy how like for me, like I never like knew gay people like that. Like we never, I'll be honest. Like we used to take the piss out of gay people when we were younger. We would dance like ballerinas and stuff like that. Was that bad of me? Yes, but I know better now, right? But then we getting all this plastered in our faces, like yo, like this is the norm, this is the norm, this is the norm. It's not the norm to everyone. I feel like it's more forced than it's more like, oh, this is just something that's happened.
yeah,
I feel like everyone tells me, why don't you like Legends of Korra? I never related with Korra. I related with Aang. Aang always feels like the underdog, right? You told me at the end that she's gay. I'm like, all right, cool. But I just feel like you threw that in her faces because you just wanted to push something that was there, that you had something, maybe one of your friends, and they said it, and I knew it. They said one of their friends was going through that time and they wanted to make them relate. Cool. That's you. That's that. But if you're gonna do that, at least flesh it out so we know what it was. It just seemed rushed, and everyone said it. Korra's rushed. You see Aang, you relate to Aang, and that's it. Again, when you see some of these stories, they just seem rushed and like they do the sex same. I'm like, even in comics, like they've been there. There's nothing wrong with them. They've been in comics, right?
yeah,
But then again, it's just the way it seems. It's just so rushed nowadays, and I'm like, I am really with it. Like I'm just like, I don't want to be forced something that I'm not gonna tolerate my palate. I can tolerate ever so much things. I like Black Lightning. I like what they did with the things, and I was LGBTQ. I'm like, I'm not gonna be, I'm not might support it, but I'm just saying, hey, I liked it.
yeah.
So
No, no, that's fair. I get what you're saying. It's about money, man.
yeah, I
They
know.
they know what people are going to pay. They know.
Yeah,
They not stupid, bro. They know what they doing. They know what they doing, man. It's at the end of the day,
yeah.
it's about for them. It's about money. They know all
You
they
got
got
to
to
be.
do is just throw something right there. There it is. Oh,
Yeah, I
we
know.
see representation. Corporate sitting there like corporation sitting there like, yep, come on, keep bringing. We'll just
Yeah,
keep rushing out whatever. We don't even have to try at this point.
Yeah, nah,
That's
nah. I can't argue with that. Like, it's just like it's just like when we talk about these things, it's like I spoke to one of my homies the other day, and he's very much we've dealt with a lot of things, right? And like, I know you when you like when you come off Discord and you wake up, you see a lot of DMs, right?
mm-hmm.
And a lot of people come to you like, as like a, big brother or a father figure or whatnot, right? And there's a lot of pressure. But like, I had somebody that, and I say he's my brother. He's dealing with same sex, attraction. And do I hate him? No. I'll show him all the love that he needs, and if he needs support, I'm gonna show him that support.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I had somebody told me, recently that their parents died, and I was like, and they're like young, they're 16, and I was like, let me if you need anything, and I, counsel this young girl, and she's doing well, and I'm grateful that she didn't, go left because she could have gone left on all these things. And the thing is, like, when you deal with a lot of people in your age group or younger, it's a hard thing because they will tell you like, bro, like what's your view and how can I was like, I'm trying to support you the best way I can and I know how to. But then the internet does this whole, well, F this dude because he doesn't agree with me. Like I saw
Yeah.
I think the worst kind of like fall like during have you heard of someone called Jew Wario?
No.
So Jew Wario, he used to work through what's it called? Channel Awesome, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I
I
definitely
think
have
that
heard of that.
y- yeah, yeah, yeah. So they the guys who did like the what's it called, the film critic and all those kind of guys, right?
Oh, okay. I'm with.
Yeah, Angry Joe and all those guys like in the gaming scene. And Drew Wario was this guy who had a heart of gold. He did like import games like games from Japan or games from different country and import, and this is how you can play these games.
Yeah.
And he made you feel like you're somebody. You will watch his video, and you like, he has a video that like I always used to go back to when I was going through it in like in college, and he would say, well, high school to be specific, he's like, you're not stupid. And I always would look back at it, you're not stupid, you're not stupid. And you find out this guy was a whole pedophile, and like people, they knew, this is why I'm saying what I'm saying. These people know what they, like you said, they know what they're doing, but they won't expose these people that are sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they're sick, and they don't realize how messed it up was. Like he was going to conventions and you know interfering with girls that were out of their mind and things like that. And the reason why we believed in killed himself maybe was suicidal thoughts or depression, but he was doing it on the presence of that he knew what, like, I can get away with this because I seem like a puppy, and then who can kill a puppy? I'm gonna turn off my camera, but I'll be about 1 second, but I can hear you still.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, yeah, man, I was like, I couldn't, like, it made me realize how sick these people are, and like, the same thing will happen with Black Streamer Twitch. Like, you saw all these guys do that, and in the vein of them doing this kind of puppy-like behavior, you saw all in lockdown, everybody getting exposed.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone I see on Black Twitch like that usually gets like, the party favors usually get that 13 minute, the 15 minutes of fame on front page. They weren't doing that this year. And I was like, I wonder why. Because every time I go on Twitter, this is why I predominantly left. These people are sick and they support pedophilia. Like, and it's true what people said. It's like low key nepotism. I'm like, Bruh, like, are we in a society that we're so messed up that we can't go and ask a woman of our age, or at least in of age,
Hmm.
that, or whatever you're into, that, oh, I'm interested in you, I like you, we're both grown, we've been speaking for a while. What's up? I have to holler at somebody who's out of their mind and or under the influence to do that. And that's why it's so messed up. That's why I left. That's another reason why I left, because I was like on Twitter, and then when Elon did it, someone that I knew um confessed, and I was like, raw, I used to mess with this streamer to the point where me and them were cool, and we found out he just did like unthinkable things. Like, there was a like there's this, I don't even think like this one, I think it's not that big of a deal, but someone told me it was. Like, there was this girl, she did OnlyFans content, and this guy saw her as a sister, but what he would do, he would go and some buy her OnlyFans and all the videos that she did, and resell it on Telegraph. And you'd be like, wait, what? I Okay, you don't, that's not your sister. You got some sick mind to go and look at your sister like that. So
Yeah, yeah. I
so
get what you're saying.
yeah, so I'm like, in all actuality, for me, from what I see, Black Twitch is full of just nonsense and pedophiles. And be honest, if you really want to, if you really want change, get rid of those guys as well. So,
But see that kind of stuff, they really don't be wanting to have those kind of conversations. But
conversations, yeah.
again, now if you sit there and say Trump's a pedophile, they ready to make a video.
Ah.
And they ready to blame
I'm like, you
the
ain't wrong.
Democrat or the Republicans for it. Some type of way. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, no,
That, and
it's
that's where I get this hypocrisy from, a double standard
mm,
from a lot of people, because they don't want to talk about that. And it's like, we all know how the government is.
yeah,
We've known it. It's just more out there now because of social media.
yeah,
This
right,
media never existed, never even started up. You probably barely would hear about it unless it was like the news. And we all know how everybody
right,
feels about the news.
yeah.
Like, I
Everyone knows how the news is right now. Like, one thing I like to start a conversation is like when people tell me like I'm a coon for supporting certain things. I'm like, and you see what happened with Carl Rittenhouse? Like, I'm like, I'll defend that young man like until the end. Like, you are you said he shot black people, right? Media said he shot black people. Wrong. You know who he shot? He shot a pedophile. I don't have no this man would go of like single parents, right? Well, no, single parent home, right? To mothers that had like just had boy children, and he would just do what he had to do. That's what the guy did. And he was so mentally messed up, they put him in a mental ward. To me, that man deserves the death penalty. The guy, when how he got hired to be like security, and they said, oh, he had a gun and he was doing the right protocol, and he said friendly fire, friendly fire. The guy who's mentally unwell, who's the pedophile, you know got the gun and shot himself in the head, right?
yeah.
And he's trying to shoot himself in the head, and Kyle just shot him. That's a hero in my book. And a couple other people came, they shot. And then there was another white man, and the white man brought a gun to a protest. Who brings a gun to a protest? Peaceful protest at that. That don't make no sense. I don't know if the guy got arrested. He deserves to get arrested, because like, you're making everybody look bad now. And everyone's telling F Kyle Rittenhouse, F Kyle Rittenhouse. This is why I say society's messed up. That you you said I'm defending someone who did something right. If he shot black people unwillingly, I would have been with you. I would have been like, bro, this man deserves to pay. What happened to George Floyd? I don't agree with. How much people profit off George Floyd? You know what happened. We know what happened. It's sick.
Yeah.
But people won't mention that. And we say we don't like Black Lives Matter, we're automatically not black no more. How are we not black when we calling out these fathers? Where's Patrice Cullors now? Where's George Floyd's money that his child should have? At this point, they should be millionaires or multi-millionaires. You know, it's crazy. You
But
know
but
what's
it's the guns that
the hypocrisy?
it's the guns that are doing everything though. Remember that it's the guns. It's never the people. It's the guns.
Oh yeah, right, right. We need waffle. We need anime waffle just to come in and just say,
Oh, he
give me.
been on the show.
Oh snap! I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna
He
check it out. I'm gonna
he
check
he
it out
went off.
for sure.
He been he been he,
So like once I do get my stuff sorted out, like my passport and stuff like that, I'm definitely like I'm taking Waffle's word for it. We're gonna go shooting and hunting, man. I'm get that word and then we'll come see you guys because I'm just saying right now, man. When people tell me like guns are the problem, I was like, no, it's the person behind the gun is the problem. I think what you need to do, especially in America, right, is just give people a mental health, check and check how mentally sane they are to carry a gun. They should do that like yearly. And if that works, that will work. I think that would be more sound because that's just like, hey, you know the person's mental health and where they are at. You know where they have to. They know where they're going through, and if they're going through something, hey, tell the brother, hey, you know what, you're going through something. Next 6 months, we give you back your gun if you're going through a better phase. And that's pretty much it. Uh, I think that would be so much simple. But you tell people these things, they don't want to listen. I'm just like, I live in the UK. We still got gun and knife crime, and it's high. People tell me like no, it's deep here. Like I had the girl literally laugh at me, like saying that, like, oh, I laugh when I'm like, you're laughing that somebody dies to a knife. How fucking stupid you are. Like I'm sorry, but like you have to be fucked up in the head to actually think that's okay. Like someone lost their life, and that's why I don't get it. And I think low key it's the girls that try to explain that men being red pill are like the problem, and it's really not. And I think
what do
because
you
I
think
saw
it
a
is?
sister. Well, you know how we grew up, right? Like for me, right? Like my uncle's behind me, like and he's disabled. Like he displayed dominance because the way he carried himself. He doesn't go and show off his alpha like he needs to be an alpha. He needs to be a sigma. He just showed that dominant. When you go in the room, you don't go and show off. Oh, I'm the man. No, you just like I take dominance and what's right. You will know an alpha when he displays who he is. He doesn't go and say I'm an alpha male. He just goes like, you know what? This needs to be done. That needs to be done. Right? You go, hey, my name's so and so. Okay, this is what you're doing wrong. This is where we need to take charge, and that's where it is. I think women are getting this sense of, in my opinion, women are trying to be too masculine, and men they're trying to make more feminine. And the men that are not standing for it, they're getting the flag of it. And then you got women like what pearly things trying to act in it, and just I'm like, to be honest, you're right, but you come from a rich, privileged background. You can't really, go on issues that men are, dealing with when you come from a two-parent household, and it's more structured for you. And the way the red pill movement is based for men to talk about manly issue. And if there are women in that space, they're coming from a point of view that they saw their parents that are in. She's a white person in it, so it's a different game. It's usually red pills more of a black slash maybe different colored people in. Oh, I don't like using people color. That's like other preach. It's like I feel like the LGBTQ'd us with that one. I'm not gonna lie. I agree with them on that one. I know controversy. Benoni said it. I said it. Nancy said it. I said it. I don't care. You can holler at me. You can clip that. You can clip that. I said it. The LGBTQ does. I'm like, even I had a homie that's Latinx. He's like, what did you say? Shut up. Get the fuck out of here. But like, no, like I just feel like they don't really understand what it is. And I think pretty much when it's a red pill situation, red pill is not based on like alpha and then it's the dominance. Can you be that man that a woman needs to rely on 9 times out of 10? Will your woman listen to you in there? If she's a woman that wants a Birkin bag, find another man because those men who give you Birkin bags find women like you 10 dozen, like you're like a dime a dozen. They're like a dime bag. They're like, that was a good one, or this is a bad sack, and they throw you out once they find out, or else they keep calling the same dealer when they want you, and that's pretty much it. Red pill is just like how much times can I go somewhere and show my dominance and show how much a woman like what woman I need, and that's it. For me, I'm not like that. I just know to be dominant, and if there's a woman I like, I take what I want. I don't need that right now because I'm in a good mentally in space, and that's why I'm single right now because I just choose to be single. Like I know with the health stuff, I'm doing something right because there's like there's some girl I see who picks up her kid that cause school's just like two streets away from where I live, and
Hmm.
she was talking to me. I'm like, I must have saw her like for like 3 days, and I was just working out from home because I had to stay home just to see everything was good with my uncle. So I just worked out from home, and then next thing you know, I'll see her looking at me. She was smiling, and I was like,
That's
"Dude, it's all right."
you just
And then the third day, she goes, "Do you remember me?" And I'm like, "My man, about if she want to have a conversation, you could have waited like 10 minutes or like just to talk to me when your kid wasn't there, right? And I would have been got your number. I would have been doing some things I shouldn't be doing, but you know, Anansi, he keeps it moving. I'm not gonna lie, losing weight gives you a new sense of confidence. I won't gonna lie. But like and after that, I think she thought I was. I don't know. I haven't spoken to her because I've gone back to calisthenics gym. I need to get myself motivated because I'm trying to get the pull up game going. But she saw my dominance working out. I didn't have to go and say hello. I didn't have to go and say hi. I didn't have to go and force myself. She saw the dominance of me working out. That's the difference between some of you guys. Riddler is dominant because of the aura he carries around with him. People know Riddler for what Riddler does. Same with LG, right? He's dominant. The reason why women don't like him because that's what society's made women nowadays. It made them like, oh, I shouldn't mess with a man because a man has this kind of, oh, he don't like submitting to women. Last time I checked, you don't even need to bring religion into this. You just have to bring in like just common society things. A man was the house head of the household. If you didn't have a man in the household, you saw disarray. That's what happens in most households. When a man's not in there, there's disarray. When a woman's in a household, it's rare for her to come out of a situation to look for her child to come and be the best of odds. I feel like when people realize a two parents household is what people need, it wouldn't be talking all this rhetoric, see. And I think that's pretty much it. Men need to do this. Red pill is a good thing for men to realize, okay, I'm done partying and all that. Now I need to settle down and find like a girl that I need to deal with. And if they have to go to a different country to get a different woman, so be it. I tell my brothers, go like if you want to do go DR, go to what's it called? The Philippines. Go all these places, get different women because if they're not getting them, if regular women are acting like this in America and UK and stuff like that, and women are coming here in abundance, and if like I met this guy the other day, his wife is she's from New Zealand, and I was like, I'm like if she's coming here and she had a job and she's willing to submit. How comes women are coming to different like to the UK or to the US and men have to fly out, or else even you're finding even women have to fly out to find a man. It's because they're not having traditional values and they're not being submissive. They're not they don't like the nuclear family. And it's not wrong being single. It's just can you keep that mentality to go to tell your child, hey, if you get in a relationship, you can't be doing all this extraness. You know
That,
what I
that
mean?
that's
I,
ooh, boy, that's a whole conversation, sir. That
I
you
think we,
need quite
me,
a
you, and
few,
LG need to have that.
need a few people to have that kind of conversation, bro. I ain't even
Oh,
gonna
I
lie
think
to you
me,
because there's like a lot of, and rightfully so, mind you. There's a lot of different takes and different outlooks when it comes to that. A lot of different
yeah,
ones. Like I don't really feel like there's like when it comes to that, there's no like right and wrong answer because everybody's different, every person's different. But I do feel like that's a conversation that does need to have, that should happen. But
yeah.
I feel like you need like a lot of different people in here for that. Like I'm not
I
even
don't
gonna lie.
disagree. I don't disagree with you. I think me, you, LG, some other maybe you need. I think. Well, have you done one with Shagsworth? I think
Mm-mm.
because you need. I think you need to tap in with Shagsworth, man. I think Shagsworth, like the way that guy thinks is like he's just like he's unapologetic, but he's very respectful at the same time. You know, he's not like me. I'm like Eddie Murphy. I'm saying ass every 3 seconds or if you like, everyone said like, yo, you're like Eddie Murphy when you're on here. Like you in real life, you're like you don't really swear like that. But when I'm on here, I'm like, F you this, F you that. I'm just like, sorry, you need to go start, I'm not Richard Pryor yet. I'm trying to be Richard Pryor though. I'll be on my Richard Pryor level.
Richard Pryor was the
No.
man. That's
Yeah,
some
man.
big shoes to fill, sir.
Yeah, no, I'm trying. Well, right now I'm on my Patrice O'Neal type stuff. Patrice is on. He was Red Pill before Red Pill, man. And,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I've learned. I think another take to take with this podcast is like this episode is a lot of people need to stop self-editing. Say what you said and say it with your chest. And what I mean by self-editing, if you disagreed with something I said, right? Like you don't change your opinion because someone else corrected you and all that. That's for you to figure out on your own.
right.
Patrice made it like there's a famous clip of Patrice. The wife called him and the guy was agreeing with Patrice and he agreed with him and agreed with him. As soon as his wife came in, no, I don't agree with you. And then the guy goes, at least I respect your wife more than you because if you kept your cojones, that's why you would have been the man in the relationship, not your wife. And I was like,
Mm,
damn, because he kept it
mm,
real. Because you need to learn to stop doing stuff like that. You see that's why you got guys like LG that goes on the internet and gets flagged for everything he does, but he doesn't self-edit. That's why you got guys like you and Aki, and the list goes on of guys that go and don't self-edit. And I've been learning to do that, and it takes a lot of like understanding how you work. Because Patrice O'Neill knows himself better than anyone else, no motherfucker can tell you who you are and who you aren't. That's why you're the voice of the voiceless. And that's why I say you're the man, the myth, the legend, and the methodical thinker. I give you all these names because I see the way you carry yourself. You don't do what these people do. And that's the issue. They scared of what they don't understand. Because pretty much they don't understand who they are. Because if they didn't understand who they are, they wouldn't be so insecure for what they do. You catch where I'm going with that?
yeah, yeah. I get exactly what you're saying. I get exactly what you're saying. Trust and believe
Yeah.
me. And that's why I tell anybody like I have my flaws.
Mm.
I don't deny that. I have my flaws. I just got out of a conversation with a woman the other day. Well, actually, was it yesterday? Yes, either yesterday or the day before yesterday about that. So I got my flaws.
Yeah, yeah.
Just that simple. That's all I can tell you. That's not lying to you or any. I have my flaws because that's the best way I could put it.
Mm.
It's, and I feel like okay. we talk about masks and things like that and what people do
Mm,
and everything goes, or how different outlooks is on different topics on this podcast. That's why I like to have different people on here because
mm.
your take on a certain thing might not be the same way LG's is. LG's might not be the same
Yeah,
way Ron's is.
yeah,
And so that everybody had this outlet where they can just be themselves, say what they want to say, what they feel comfortable talking about, comfortable responding to, and everything else. And it's just that simple. That's all it is.
it is. I wish people like if you get in a higher position, I'm always gonna say I'll be like, bro, who gave me the opportunity to do? I'm like, it's Riddler. It's LG, it was Disparity, it was like everyone else like who gave me the thing. It's just like I said, like you said, where are those guys to tell me like, oh, since you're doing the fitness thing and you're doing it with other people, how do you grow in that aspect?
Yeah.
Or else if you got somebody like yourself who's doing the podcast thing, and I'm probably people in the podcast space push you in that, but maybe they see what you're doing and be like, oh no. Because to me, what I see, Riddler, I think you're like on the cusp of being like a Uncle Joy or Joe Rogan. Just you could go for a great good hour
Woo!
or
Shit, you
two.
gonna get
I'm
me.
telling you, I'm getting. I'll get you in trouble. I don't care. I was like, shit, Riddler, we're already in trouble as it is. You know what? Well, we're not liked. We're not liked. If I go
My
back on Twitter, we're not liked like that. We're only liked in our circle. But if we get outside that box, and I
good-
know people, companies are finally, you got it. You could go for 2 hours going off on the motherfucker, and you be on steroids with that one. I just feel like
I
the
just feel
time
like
and the
you should
place
have
is gonna come.
you should have the right to not like what you not like and not get shit. That's all what it is.
True.
You everybody's entitled to their opinion. Mine more
Mm.
so are based around actual facts, and people just don't like to hear it. I tell anybody, I have Dead by Daylight, but at the end of the day, I'll still tell you the game panders.
Yeah. I think there's what I think I don't know if I said this last time, but there's a quote I like to quote with Charlemagne the God. Why tell the truth when the lie is more entertaining? I always say to LG,
And that's how
you
they act.
know, yeah, I tell LG, like he's like, I'm always tired of these black people. I'm like, no, LG. When I had my Twitter, I was like, no, stop bickering with niggers. That's the difference. You're not dealing with black people. I'm having a conversation with Riddler. I haven't called him an N-word once. He's a genuine black man. He's not no nigga. He's not no derogatory term. This is a black man, right? I hate when people like to use the term king and queen because it devalues it. There's not every woman's a queen and not every man is a king. This is a king right here
Mm.
because this man is actually a gentleman that actually does what needs to be done for the others and everyone in his vicinity because he wants to see everybody grow, and that's how a king should be, right? Same with LG, he's a king because that I don't like when people do these terms. And if LG watched this, I'm like, I love you, brother. I got mad respect for you. But again, when you go on Twitter, do me a favor. Say you are not, and say Anansi said this, and it's like, oh, if there's, oh, Anansi's crazy. I don't care what people
Oh,
think
it's getting
about
clipped.
me.
Trust me, it's getting
It's
clipped.
oh, this part's getting cool.
This
But
was
yeah,
good.
stop dealing with niggas. Just straight up, stop dealing with niggas. Black streamer Twitch are niggas, right? And then there's the upper echelon, which is like AMP, Agent, Kai, Dude Dennis, what's it, Chris, you know, and what's his name? I forgot the other guy's name, but AMP, who else? I'm thinking of Bruce and all those type of guys. Those are the guys I think is the black echelon because again, like I said earlier, those are the people I'm not arguing with all these people. They just focus on their content. If they don't agree with something, they're like that. It's like urban preach and things like that. Once you have conversation with black people, The doors are on the open. Until that time comes, that's when you need to holler at me, man. I'm think I'm gonna I think I'm gonna leave that off there, man.
Yeah,
Riddler, what's your takes?
yeah, okay. Well,
We leave it off
w-
there.
yeah,
We
yeah,
leave
yeah,
it
yeah. Yeah, we're gonna
for a part
we,
three.
we gonna
We'll
leave
do a
that
part three.
right there. Y'all.
We do a part
th-
three.
This is Nazi and Riddler Part 2 Coffee and Conversation. Do try to check him out on Instagram. I'm gonna put
oh,
his link to his stuff in the description of this. Do not worry.
oh,
He does a lot of
yeah.
workout and stuff. I'm telling you though, boss man, check out that Celtic workout, man.
I'm, I'm definitely see.
Matter of fact, it's
DM it to
called.
me.
Cause I was gonna say it's called Celtic Warrior Brave Change workout. But I'm gonna send you a
Celtic
link to it.
Warrior.
Yeah.
Send me a link, and I'm definitely gonna check it out. Like I said, like I know it's been a madness with the whole crew. Like, we're gonna if once we're in the talks of sorting out the podcast things. Don't worry about like all out. We're gonna sort that out. But like, every make sure you follow this brother. Make sure you follow him, Riddler, on all necessary platforms and all that. Because I didn't know. I was like, what's Riddler doing? What's LG doing? What Sperry doing? What's Aki doing? Everyone in the team doing? YouTube did not just stop all my bell notifications going through because I had my bell notifications for all of these guys. I don't miss a beat when it comes to them. But I'll make sure I'm gonna rewatch this. And I'll make sure I'm gonna watch the other ones and I'm gonna comment. But again, it's not hard. Leave it in the background, listen to it when you can, like the video, comment, share around. If you got, we're definitely gonna do a part three. If the part three is about art, we're gonna do the art. Make sure we probably have 13 in the spare here, and we're just gonna chop it up, talk about art and Riddler's views on that. We see about that, but I know we need another conversation brewing about the red pill and stuff like that. That's something LG gonna have to hit us hit
Definitely,
us up
definitely,
on.
definitely.
Right, and then we're gonna just chop it up general. I'm gonna try be back again because at the end of the day, man, like us guys in the All Out, man. I was a fan of All Out, and just to be a part of it, man, I don't want to see it go like that, man. We're gonna go crazy, and we're gonna find new people that think like us, and we're gonna give it to you guys. And if it blows, it blows. But right now, I think Riddler. I'm giving when it comes to podcast mentor, Riddler's got it. You're gonna see him. You're gonna see him. Like I'm telling you, the gaming scene wise, Riddler has it. He has it. I don't care what no one says. He like train wrecks. You guys were supporting train wrecks for a long time. Riddler's the next one up. I'm seeing it. I see this. Mark my words. If Riddler don't keep growing up, like growing and growing, growing, I'm just like, got put on Spotify, got put on Apple, got put on Google. He knows the rest. Anyway, peace. Again, follow Riddler, follow me, King Jim Rats, the team, and the art's coming. I'm telling you, once I get my art style through, we're gonna do a stream of me doing like a drawing for Riddler and we get that done.
All right, all right. Oh, that is a Nashi, y'all. I am Dark Gorilla. Be sure to check out my other content as well. Till next time, y'all, this has been another edition of Coffee and Conversation. Y'all see you next time.